The year is 1967. Israel had grown from a nation of refugees into a vibrant new democracy. Where there was once desert, there were now thriving cities and abundant farms. But soon, Israel's very existence would be threatened, with 250,000 Arab troops from 4 countries amassing on her borders. Egypt's Gamal Abdel Nasser, the Arab world's most powerful leader, summed up the goal. Our basic objective will be the destruction of Israel. The groundwork for this looming conflict was laid more than a decade earlier. In 1956, Jordan controlled the West Bank, and Syria the Golan Heights. Egypt controlled the Sinai Peninsula and used it as a frequent launching point for attacks against Israeli citizens. It blocked Israel's vital shipping route through the Straits of Tiran. In a successful military campaign, Israel took control of the Sinai Peninsula and reopened the straits. In a UN-brokered peace deal, UN forces entered the Sinai and Gaza to create a buffer zone. Israel agreed to withdraw, despite lack of commitments from Egypt to prevent terrorist infiltration. While President Eisenhower supported the Israeli withdrawal, he also pledged U.S. support of Israel's right to free passage through the straits. But the fragile peace was soon broken.
This is Kol Yisrael, the voice of Israel, broadcasting from Jerusalem. Radio Cairo announced this morning that the Egyptian fleet had prevented the passage of a tanker through the Tiran Straits.
This time, Nasser's aggression goes further. He moves his troops into positions along the Israeli border. Fanning Arab hostility toward Israel, he encourages Jordan, Syria, and Iraq to do the same. Radio Cairo broadcasts Nasser's threats. We will operate as one army fighting a single battle. We accept no kind of coexistence with Israel. The Arab nation has decided to cleanse Palestine of your presence. Soon, hundreds of thousands of Arab soldiers, vastly outnumbering Israel's defense forces, surround the 19-year-old nation. In a further act of hostility, Nasser demands that UN troops withdraw their buffer from the Sinai and Gaza. And they do.
This is Kol Yisrael, the voice of Israel, broadcasting from Jerusalem. President Johnson convenes the United States Cabinet on the Middle East situation.
The United States considers the Gulf to be an international waterway and feels that a blockade of Israel shipping is illegal and potentially disastrous to the cause of peace.
Fearing for their survival, Israeli citizens prepare for war, even as their leaders press for peace.
Diplomatic activity has stepped up to full steam ahead. Foreign Minister Abba Eban sets out for world capitals.
But diplomatic efforts fail. With Arab troops on the march along every border, Israel makes a preemptive strike in the Sinai. In just 6 days, Israel wipes out Egyptian air and ground forces and retakes the Sinai Peninsula. It captures the strategic high ground of the Golan Heights, which had been used by Syria to attack Israeli civilians for years. Pushing back Jordanian troops, Israeli forces reunified Jerusalem, giving Jews the first chance in 19 years to visit and pray at the site of the ancient Temple of Solomon. Despite the continued antagonistic posture of its neighbors, Israel reaches out for peace. On June 19, 1967, the Israeli cabinet votes to exchange all the territory it had won from Egypt and Syria in return for signed peace treaties, recognizing Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state. President Johnson warns that without such treaties, a return of land would once again be a mistake.
This is not a prescription for peace, but for renewed hostilities.
Israel has continued to seek peace with all her neighbors. signing peace agreements with both Egypt and Jordan, and has attempted numerous times to come to an agreement with the Palestinian leadership. Today, Israel continues to strive for peace.
I extend my hand in peace. Our past experience shows us it is possible to bridge the differences between our two peoples.